When people hear the name ICE, emotions tend to run high. Some see them as necessary law enforcement agency protecting borders. Others see them as a symbol of aggressive immigration enforcement and government overreach. But beyond the headlines and the protests, a lot of people don't actually know what ICE is, what powers they legally have, or why local police say they can't interfere with them. So today, we're breaking it all down clearly and calmly. Who ICE are, what they usually do, what powers do they have under US law, and why city and state police don't usually stop them. No politics, just facts. So what does ICE actually do? ICE has two main divisions, and this is where the confusion starts. So number one is the Enforcement and Removal Operations, the ERO. This is the side of ICE that most people know. ERO is responsible for arresting undocumented immigrants, detaining individuals in ICE facilities, deporting people who have final removal orders. They target people who've overstayed their visas, people who've entered the US illegally, non-citizens convicted of certain crimes. This is the division that is involved in the raids, detentions, and deportations, and is the ones you see most on TV. Number two is the Homeland Security Investigations, the HSI. HSI is much broader and less talked about. They investigate human trafficking, drug and weapons smuggling, child exploitations, financial crime, cybercrime, and document fraud. In many cases, HNI agents work alongside the FBI, DEA, and international law enforcement agencies as well. So not every ICE agent is involved in immigration arrests, but the ERO is what dominates public attention. So what actual powers does ICE have? Because ICE is a federal agency, its powers come directly from US federal law and not from states and cities. ICE agents can arrest non-citizens without a warrant if they believe the person is removable, detain individuals during immigration proceedings, execute federal arrest warrants, access federal databases, and operate across all 50 states. Unlike local police, ICE don't need permission from local governors and mayors. They don't answer to city councils and they don't require cooperation from state authorities to operate. Their authority applies nationwide. That is the key reason why you find it so hard to stop them at a local level. So why can't local police interfere with ICE? This is the crucial part to understand. In the US legal system, federal law overrides state and local law. This principle is called the federal supremacy. ICE enforces federal immigration laws while local police enforce state and city laws. So if a city police department tried to physically stop ICE agents from doing their job, they would actually be breaking federal law and obstructing a federal officer. That's why even in so-called sanctuary cities, local police usually say, we don't have ICE, but we can't stop them. Sanctuary policies usually mean local police won't ask about immigration status, they won't hold people just for ICE, and they won't voluntarily assist ICE operations. But they cannot legally block ICE from acting. Can states or cities limit ICE at all? Yes, but only indirectly. States and cities can refuse to share local jail data, ban local police from assisting ICE, require judicial warrants for cooperation, and limit access to local facilities. But, however, they cannot arrest ICE agents, order ICE to leave, block federal operations. This creates a strange situation where ICE operates independently. Local governments distance themselves and communities are left confused about who has authority. So why is ICE so controversial? ICE sits at the center of immigration policy, human rights debates, and national security concerns. Supporters argue that ICE enforces the law, they protect the borders, and also they target serious criminals. Critics argue that families are separated, enforcement is overly aggressive, as you can see in the news, and too much power with too little oversight. And because ICE is federal, local communities often feel powerless, whether they support or oppose it at all. So whether you agree with the role or not, one thing is clear. ICE operates above these cities and states. This is why debates around them are so intense and so complicated. If you found this breakdown useful, drop a like, subscribe, and let me know what topic you want explained next.